So it's been a long time sort of coming. There's been a lot of talk in the build-up, but finally settled. How does it feel to be Port Adelaide player?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, just finished a massive session, so I'm sort of coming back to my wits. But the whole experience of this last week's been awesome and well worth the wait. I sort of had it in my horizon end of last year, and it couldn't happen. But I was pretty keen to get back across this year, and yeah, really happy.
Where's the body at, mate? And how are you fit?
Yeah, pretty fit. Had ankle surgery at the end of this year. Just had been bugging me for a couple of years, and along with the calf, it's all sort of same leg issue, and I just wanted to get that all fixed and come with a clean slate. And I've been able to get through every session fine, and running's getting back to where I think it should be, and been training pretty well.
Were you surprised that things did finish up at all? I mean, certainly from the outside, it seemed like a strange call. Did that give you a bit of a jolt when that all happened?
I think naturally the process gives you a bit of a jolt. It sort of just aligns everything to what you want to be doing with your footy career and how much I value my football. And it's not everything, but I still think I've got a lot to give to the game. But at the same time, I sort of saw it coming. I was told about a month before the actual decision that was going to happen, and it was sort of a bit of an amicable thing. I sort of told them I felt like my best footy was elsewhere, and in my heart of hearts I actually said I'd like to be back at Port Adelaide, so they were happy with that, and I think they were happy with how it all finished, and so was I.
And I guess now that you've got the second chance, so to speak, you just got to make every post a winner and fix that.
Yeah, just put all chips in and make the best of my opportunity, come and try and be the best teammate I can be with the group, and try and get the best out of myself, and that will help the club and each individual at the club. So it was definitely a kick up the bum. I suspect sort of that's how it happens for most people when they get a second chance, and even though you don't necessarily want that to be the case and you think, oh, I'm going to be at my best all the time, that's just the roller coaster of professional sport, and at the minute I'm so keen to go to another level.
Why were you so keen to get back here?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to come to a club that I felt was really settled, has been really competitive for the last couple of years, and that's obviously Port. They've won a lot of football and played about one bad game this year, and it happened to be the prelim. So that was huge, and then just obviously being home is important for me. I've got a big family that I love, and like a couple of health issues with my dad and sister that sort of made it a little bit more pressing to want to be back here. But I didn't want to come back and just seem like I was going to be relaxing, and I want to come back and get the best out of myself and make this club get to the last game of the year and get a win there.
Do you think that does it make you play better being in an environment like that you said even last year you were keen to get back to?
Yeah, I think the last season was really tough for me, with the injury and having that at the back of my head. That's not conducive to playing your best footy, and I think if you look at all the best players in the game and teams that are performing well there on and off field, life is pretty well balanced and settled, and more often than not they're in a really good place mentally, and I found that difficult at times to find that space, especially with footy going the way it was, the injury, and wanting to get back a fair bit, and I hadn't seen my family from Christmas Day last year when I actually hurt my calf. So I think that's going to help me get the best out of myself this year, being around them, and also coming to an environment where there's elite players everywhere, and you've got some of the best trainers in the game, and naturally you got to rise to the level.
What is the best of Trent Dumont as a footballer? Where can you get to playing for Port Adelaide?
Well, firstly, just getting in every game and playing your role, which sounds like a bit of a cliche, but with the top teams in the comp, everyone is firing on all cylinders pretty much, and if you're not, you're probably playing two. So the best for me is playing every game and being a solid contributor each week, sort of on the wing or in the guts. So that's sort of where I see my fit in the team.
What do you think you can add to Port Adelaide this year?
Just a sort of relentless work rate and a great team player, and a bit of leadership to the young guys, and I guess I'm in that age bracket where we've got the older players and the real young stars, and I can just sort of be a bit of a that join in between, like with the Wines, Burn Jones, Orazio. There's not a whole heap in that age bracket, so just help out in that regard.
You had to wait until, I guess, the rookie draft to become a Port Adelaide player. Was there a moment before where it became apparent you would get to Port, or how did that kind of play out for you?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of moments where I was getting calls from list managers and they're telling me, mate, you're too good not to be on a list next year. And I'm like, how about yours? And they're like, nah, not ours, mate. And I'm like, all right. So there's a lot of that going on. So, I was getting all these like kind words from list managers and they were all telling me it's going to happen really late. So as uncomfortable as it was, and it was what I wanted, like to move on. But yeah, there was times there where I was like, oh, okay, well, let's get to a place now. But sort of all happened how it was told to me it was going to happen, and I couldn't be happier now.
Were there any discussions with the blokes down the road ever?
Last year a little bit, but no, not much this year at all. So it was just Port.
Who is it from Port that sort of did the dealing with you? Who was your main point of contact that sort of gave you the confidence that you would actually get here in the end?
Cripper, obviously we just spoke to him a fair bit, and and pretty much that was who we did our dealings with my manager Robbie D'Orazio, and he just gave me a call one night, Tuesday before, I think it was Thursday, I got picked up and he said, we're going to Port. So that's sort of how it all happened late, and it was sort of almost unexpected for a little bit there.
So what kind of stood in the way last year when you kind of wanted you to Port?
I was contracted last year, and North sort of said they had me in their long-term plans, but that changed.
Is that frustrating? Like, I know that's the industry.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But, and I'm sure that you, knowing it, being on the inside of it, know it more than I would. But to have teams be able to do that too, what does it do to the mental state of a player, knowing that at any moment they could flip a switch? Yeah,
it was, I guess when you have, last year I had a better season, things are a little bit surer in terms of your career, because I had 3-4 years in a row where I hadn't really missed a game and was playing good footy, and then that not happening last year I was okay with, because I understand like seeing out your contract and all that, and I was excited to actually see where North were going to go with things, but then you have calf injury, you come back into it, I had 3 coaches in 2 years, that's 3 different game plans, and I didn't train with under Nobes until round 7, so there was a lot happening and a lot of catch up, chasing my tail, and then not much trust in the body until later in the year. So it was frustrating, but I understand where North are at, and they need to make fast changes, and that is the industry. We play a pretty brutal game, and there's a lot less fortunate than me. And if footy was to end, it wasn't the end of the world, but I was still super excited to go elsewhere, and at times it was challenging, but I was able to have some perspective at times just to level me out.
So there are no real ill feelings to the way that it ended?
Nah. I still love a lot of the people at North, and there was a heap of change there, so not everyone that's there now is the people that I know as North, but no ill feelings. I understand the business, and I think they've done me a favour really, getting back home and getting to a great club like Port.